Okay. Now we are going to discuss that how to find a finance or finding finance. Finance is the art of passing currency from hand to hand until it's finally disappear. Some business require little more than pocket changes to get started. Other need hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. Whatever amount is needed, bear in mind that raising money is meant to be a difficult process. The obstacles and problems inherent in obtaining money, particularly from a lending institution, are designed to filter out those who are unfit to survive. Put another way, if an entrepreneur fails to raise enough cash to get his or her ideas off the ground, then he or she has shown a lack of what it takes to run a business. There is nothing new in this. Starting a business is easy, says the owner and operator of Pro Contra PLI building maintenance company in Sydney, Australia. Running it and finding it's hard. Welcome to the world of commercial enterprises where the 50 doors have been slammed in your face. The next one must still be approached with courtesy, optimism, and a smile. The sources of finance. The tricks to finding capital say some entrepreneurs is getting it from the right sources and in the right sequence as a business grow and evolve. This means that when searching for funding, everyone available venue should be explored. Learn from every approach. For example, if a loan office at a local bank turns down your request, politely ask why and use what is said to improve the next pitch. Often enough, it is not what a money lender is told, but what the money lender wants to hear that is most important. Furthermore, when looking for leader, try to find ones that specialize in the specific industry or field which the proposed business is located. Investors are usually more respective to industries and business by understand. Following in alphabetical order are the most common examples of where money can be obtained. Ask around and investigate to determine how each option in your region or country be maximized. First one is banks. Winning over a bank is one of the highest hurdles a startup business faces. Banks are necessary to small businesses operative for two reasons. The first one is they are safer place to store money, and the second one is they can be source of a finance and other services. Unfortunately, most banks enjoy loaning money to perhaps and businesses that don't need it. This is because every bank want to ensure that it gets its money back, not that banks are by nature cautious. Requests for money must be therefore be backed up with the firm facts and figures. Banks seek security in the form of proven cash revenues or collateral. If you don't have one of the other, you probably won't get a loan. If bank is uncooperative or uninterested in your needs, move on to the next one. Another one, bank do not exist to help keep business afloat. People run banks. If you get to know these people, your chances of success may increase. Bank hates surprises there. If you manage to secure a loan and cannot make a payment on time, you should tell your bank in advance. Bank make a mistake. A study in the UK discovered that up to 20% of the statements banks send out are inaccurate. It's therefore prudent in regularly check bank statement. Always approach a bank and or banker having done a bit of homework. It shows that you are on top of things when demonstrates integrity and professionalism. Most banks are often open to negotiation when it comes to interest rates. Don't be afraid to haggle. Corporate venturing. Some loan money to entrepreneurs in the hope of establishing a working relationship with them. This is called cooperative venturing. Needless to say, the skill or product of the entrepreneurs must be benefit to the company being asked and be backed by a solid business plan. The company to which the idea is being pitched may also seek some type of equity shares agreement. Just make sure the idea or product being pushed is first protected by a patent or copyright. Crowdfunding, the practice of obtaining funds by publicly asking for small donation, has been practiced for centuries. The cost of the Statue of Liberty, for example, was crowdfunded by a newspaper campaign playing for upcoming military campaigns by selling was bonds and writers collecting cash from future buyers to fund an as yet to be printed book. Provide two additional examples. Nowadays, more than 2 dozen crowdfunding sites exist online. These include GoFundMe, Kickstarter, Indigo, and CrowdRise, Patreon, Crowdfunder, and so on. Crowdfunding scheme usually involves either pre-selling a product which is similar to a production contract agreement or the selling of some sort of equity in business in that is producing the product. Either way, it can be extremely difficult to generate the attention of individuals and groups without establishing network and skillful involvement. An extraordinary public relations or marketing campaign seem to be essential to crowdfunding success. Not be seduced by stories that make crowdfunding look easy. Without first establishing a vibrant business network, crowdfunding can be as fickle as and distant as winning the lottery. Equipment loans. Expensive equipment, that is machinery, display cases, tools, can sometimes be purchased with an extended low interest from company that produces or sells the equipment. In return, the entrepreneur may be asked to sell or advise the company's product in his or her business, usually through professional signs and display. Talk with suppliers and manufacturers for more information. Family and friends. Entrepreneurs that can prove that they are trustworthy and reliable and have put together a viable business plan may be able to find family members who are willing to cough up the cash needed to start a business. Note, however, that these folks should not be rewarded with administrative titles in return for their help. It is also usually not a business idea to ask friends and family to invest their life saving in a business. Since asking friends and family for money is the most personal of routes to take, this avenue must be planned with care and forethought. Government help. Local, state, and federal governments sometimes offer financial resources for small business if and when certain requirements are met. Example include business that employ handicapped people, business located in areas in need of economic assistance, business designed into help environment of or business designed to reduce local problems. Contact the local economic department offer for details in the USA. A good source for such help in the book Free Help for Uncle Sam to Start Your Own Business uh, by William Allardid and Gustav Berle. Next is grants. Grants provide money that does not have to paid back. Universities and professional organizations, governments and trade association are typical grant sources, including the European Union of Business, the unemployment, pensioners, young entrepreneurs, artists, and other out of the mainstream groups are usually the most eligible to receive a grant if they qualify, as are competent people who trying to set up a business in an underdeveloped area. For the most part, grants do not involve large sums of money on only a few hundred or few thousand dollars at most. But for a fledgling business, a small amount of cash can go a long way towards reducing expenses. Apart from seed funding, grants can also be obtained from employee training, market cost, and insurance. Don't be ashamed to ask for help in form of grant. Just be prepared to fill out lots of forms before and after any money is received. Issuing share. The issuing of share is a finance option that is only available to business that are incorporated. The advantage of issuing share is that the people that buy them do not have to pay it back. The disadvantage is that the people who buy shares and are part of owners of a business and such, they can hold the entrepreneur accountable for whatever he or she does. Shares can be used in a variety of ways. For example, a cocktail bar in London, England recently issued shares to its employee as part of its payment package. In return, the operator of the bar says he has one of the most motivated workforce in UK for More information about sales chapter. Small business administration loans available from the business administration in the USA include direct SB loan, uh, which have a low interest rate. The name comes from the fact that this type of loan is issued directly from the government. Unfortunately, because direct SB loans are intended for minorities and veterans, they may be difficult to acquire if the person requesting them does not qualify. Guaranteed loans are something available to individuals who have been turned down by banks. The scheme worked by having the government guarantee a loan on behalf of the entrepreneurs. More leeway is therefore usually given in paying the loan back. For more information on small business administration loan, including tips on raising capital, finding grant resources, equity financing, and more, visit WHS. Soft loans are declared soft when they do not require security or collateral. Their payback schedule is long and their due date are extendable. That begin being said, every penny that is borrowed must be paid back with interest, just like a regular loan. Small business development centers, local government, businesses oriented banks, corporations, business trusts, and other business friendly associations are the best place to look for the soft loan. Trade credit. Some suppliers do not require payment for the merchandise they sell up for up to 30 days or longer, so that the purchaser has time to sell the merchandise before paying for it. If a small business has a solid customer base, as it has little doubt that it can shift merchandise easily, that it can be a creative way to lower in inventory costs and begin trading with less money than has originally envisioned. Venture capitalist. A venture capitalist is a person or group of finance business. In return, he or she owner expect to the share in the success of the business in which he is or her investment has been made, while expecting yearly growth rate of up to 40% or higher. Because most venture capitalists are successful business people in their own right, they are often adept at determining if a commercial idea is a good. Note that many venture capitalists are not really interested in providing capital for small business. Instead, they look for a high flying enterprise ideas that have big profit expectation and will pay back their investment very quickly. Additionally, since most venture capitalists are only in it for the money, who is not, they may sell their shares to unknown buyers in a few years' time. Mixing up the options. If the source mentioned above are not enough for their own, consider mixing up them. Maybe a local bank would not let uh, uh, 1 lakh dollars to start a business, but it may consider $25,000. Additional funds can then be obtained from family and friends, and the selling of personal assets and so on. Still more cash can come from grants or through trade credits or equipment loans. Don't be afraid uh, to be creative. So what are the advice from the pros? When it need of finance, shop around, be persistent, and never be afraid to ask for advice. Open up very available line of credit before going into business, even it means taking a more credit card. Few institution will loan money to cash hungry business after it has been set up. Ensure that all equipment and machinery is bought at the best price and under the best conditions. Used equipment may be seem like a less expensive alternative to new equipment, but make certain what you buy has lot of life in it. Entrepreneurs that buy cheap often buy twice. Remanufactured equipments which comes with the guarantee in such much a safer bet. Note, if you are in need of office furniture, try not to buy brand new items. The cost of new business furniture is usually grossly overinflated. Remanufactured is a far better option, and no one will notice the difference. Get to know your banker. Do your homework before seeking the cash. Do not let your business die a death from a thousand cuts. So these were the important points about finance.